All right, you guys. So today we are going to read the same story that we read yesterday about Jane Goodall. But when you are finished, you are going to write 3 things that she learned about chimpanzees. So as I am reading this story today, I want you to be thinking and looking at the pages. What are 3 things that she learned about chimpanzees as she watched them quietly? Okay, and then when we are done, you will answer this wherever your teacher tells you. It might be Seesaw, you might answer it on Flipgrid if that's what your class is using, or you might just write it in your journal too, okay? So we will come back to this after I read the story to you again, but as I am reading it today, I want you thinking about what did she learn as she watched them quietly. All right, Jane Goodall, Friend of the Forest. Jane Goodall hid in the hen house. She was 5 years old and very curious. She wanted to see how the hens laid eggs. She watched them quietly. Jane was curious about other animals too. She looked for them wherever she went. She watched them quietly. Observation. Scientists use their senses to find out more about the world. Ask these questions when you watch quietly as Jane did. What did you see? What did you hear? And what did you smell? Jane's mother found earthworms in Jane's bed once. Jane had to take them back to the dirt quickly or they would have died. When Jane grew up, she became a scientist. She went to Africa to study wild chimpanzees in the forests of Gombe. Jane would gain the trust of some of the chimpanzees she studied. Jane climbed hills to look for the chimpanzees. She peered at them through binoculars. She watched them quietly. Soon Jane learned facts about chimpanzees that other scientists did not know. Scientists thought chimpanzees only ate only plants. Jane saw that chimpanzees eat meat too. She also saw chimpanzees use sticks as tools. They used the sticks for catching insects. A young chimpanzee uses a tool to get termites to eat. All right, first graders, I'm going to give you a hint. On this page, it tells you 2 things that Jane learned that other scientists did not know yet. Jane saw chimpanzees fight furiously. She also saw chimpanzees treat each other gently. They hugged each other and cuddled their babies. Jane took notes about everything she saw. So first graders, this page as well tells you a couple of things that Jane learned about chimpanzees. It says she saw them fight, she saw them treat each other gently, and hugging each other and cuddling their babies. Jane studied the chimpanzees for many years. She watched them quietly. The chimpanzees watched Jane too. Some of them visited her camp. They even explored her tent. Jane also saw that people were chopping down many trees. The people needed firewood for cooking. They needed land for growing food. Jane worried that the forests would disappear. Then where would the chimpanzees live? Jane knew she could not just watch quietly. She wanted to help save the forests, so she talked with the people near Gombe. Together, they decided to plant trees that would grow quickly. Now the people could grow their own wood instead of chopping down the forests. The people also learned how to use farmland better. They planted crops that grew well in poor soil. Now they could use the same land over and over again. They even planted crops that grew best in the shade of the forests. Today, Jane visits countries around the world. She eagerly tells people everywhere about forests and animals. Still, every year she visits Gombe to see the chimpanzees and watch them quietly. The end. All right, guys, so what you will do now is you are going to go back. Sorry, I lost it. There we go. To this page. And you are going to answer these questions. So what are the 3 things that she learned about chimpanzees? There's definitely way more than 3 things, but I want you to think of 3 things that she learned about chimpanzees while she watched them quietly.